Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Smoking Conversations. I am your host, Mr. Cigarz with the Z36. And today we have two special ladies that are well known within the cigar community. So I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to be a gentleman. I'm going to allow you guys to introduce yourself first. Would you like to go first, Marcey?
Sure. My name is Marcey Gaitan, and I am co-owner of the Leaf Cigarz shop.
Okay.
I'm Elizabeth Bright, and I love smoking cigars.
Okay, so the reason we have them on the show today is because we're going to get the female perspective of what it's like smoking cigars. So, Liz, we'll start with you. How do you feel about smoking cigars as a whole first?
Oh my gosh. My first initial reaction was that it's like a boss. I feel like a boss.
Okay.
This game's funny. I'm being a boss, but I like it because it's leisure for me. I'm a social worker in my regular life. It helps me relax. This is what I do to relax.
Okay. And Marcey?
I'm going to be honest, way back when, before I was ever even anywhere near this business, I honestly did not like it. I grew up with a father who smoked cigarettes, and I saw them one and the same, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I had a grandfather who smoked a pipe, and just, I stayed away from the whole smoking thing. As it came to be, and I kind of got pushed into it. That's kind of a long story of its own. But
Okay.
Once I tried it for myself and I started understanding the business and how a leaf of tobacco becomes a cigar, I was very intrigued by it. And as I started trying the different cigars and I understood them more, I think some of the teacher in me came out, because
Okay.
people would come in asking me, hey, don't laugh at me, I want to learn how to smoke, can you teach me?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I got you there.
Okay, well,
And so, same thing though that Liz said, I can come in after a day of teaching,
Mhm.
and I can feel myself agitated, and I come in, I can have my coffee, I can have a cigar, and I'm calm after that, I'm good.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna tell you right now, even though I'm in the military, I get it, but I can't say it, but you got them kids. I can't do it, because one day, oh, you my favorite, the next day, they don't like you. I can't do it. They too, like, I'm good, I can't do it. So, here's another question that I wanna ask, and I'll shoot it to you first. What is your reaction when guys come in, don't know first that you're part owner of the shop, and then they try to get you to smoke or suggest something like on the sweeter side, not knowing that one of your favorite sticks, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the Pappy Van Winkle?
It is.
Okay.
It is. I sometimes let them go with it, but I have to let them down a little bit and say, I really don't smoke those anymore. I've moved on to the natural tobacco, and
Okay.
I just can't bring myself back to that. And they get a little bright-eyed and to each his own.
Okay.
It's just what you like,
Yeah.
And there's people who can, smoke those sweet ones and they enjoy it, and that's good for them.
Mhm.
And other people that, I'm on the natural side, and that's what they enjoy.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just say to each their own. You like what you like.
Okay. How about you?
Repeat the question, sorry.
Okay. So when guys come in, they always automatically assume because you're a female, you want something sweet. They always try to suggest something sweeter than more of a full body or just a medium to full body cigar. What is your reaction to that?
Well, at this point, everybody knows that I smoke Java Mints. That's the whole world knows that.
Okay.
Now. But I'm okay with it, I guess. I don't really care for when people let you name drop a fat bottom Betty, and I'm like, no, I could do something a little harsher than that. Something a little stronger. But other than that, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as being women in the industry and coming up, do you think that it's harder for a lot of females? Like, okay, well, you know what? Let me back up. What advice would you give to females that are just coming into the industry, just trying to smoke cigars, with that stereotype of females should only smoke sweet things? It is just for either one.
I mean, I typically assume that most people are going to start with the sweet sticks.
Okay.
That just seems to be typically, whether you're male or female, especially if you haven't smoked cigarettes before, then I typically lean towards the sweet ones first. And, you know, I'll ask them though, are you looking for something sweet, creamy? You're looking for something natural. And most people will say, you know, I want something mild and sweet. And so that's where we stay. And we stay there for a while until they can find what they like in you know, in those humidors. And then eventually, you know, we talk a little bit about the natural, and I try to get them inside the, you know, the big humidor.
Oh, okay.
And we, you know, a lot of them, it's intimidating for them. There's a lot of cigars in there. And if they don't understand the differences between, let's say, Connecticut's and Habanos and Maduros and things like that, all of that is just, you know, a lot of information for them, and it becomes intimidating. So again, that education comes out, and I like to talk to them about what I know about the cigars.
Okay.
I think a lot of people follow trends. A lot I notice because I'm like big online. I love like watching and seeing like what's going on inside like the cigar world. And a lot of people seem to follow like the sweet cigars. They do start with the sweet cigars.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest. I started off. Your husband being one of my mentors, I started off with Fat Bottom Betties and the sweeter sticks. And the more I hung around him, he was like, "Hey, look, you can't hang around with me smoking that." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "You're a grown man. I'm not about to do that." I said, "Okay." And then he just forced my palate to evolve. And there's nothing wrong with the sweet. So if anybody's watching, there's nothing wrong with the sweeter sticks. But eventually, your palate is going to have to evolve into something better. And the tobacco out there, the better it goes, the higher your palate evolves to, and the better the taste. You're just going to love it overall. So my question is, I'm gonna make sure I word this correctly. So this is for you. Being part owner of the Leaf Affair, do you feel as though that people are intimidated now that they probably think, oh, well, her being part owner, you know, she's definitely smoked some of the most expensive, some of the best cigars out of there, but how do you think they actually look at you now knowing that, oh, that's Marcey, that's Jake's wife, she's part owner? Do you think they look at you any differently, or do they still treat you as a cigar smoker?
I think the people who know me, you know, they've seen, I've heard people say, oh, I've seen you grow. You know, I saw you start way down here, and I've seen you grow into, you know, here you are, cigar smoker, smoking what the rest of us smoke.
Okay.
And they were, you know, I feel like they felt impressed with, you know, the growth I've made in just in the industry altogether.
Now,
you know, my change from sweet to natural happened because of another owner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Greg at 1911 Cigars in Cibolo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He came in, this was when the lounge was closed, and so I was working evenings here by myself. My husband was in Africa, and he was still active duty here, so he would come in, buy cigars from us, and then of course go home on the weekends and work his own shop.
Okay.
But when he came in, he said, listen, my members are still wanting to get together. I'm going to do a Zoom call, you know, since we can't be in the lounge together. He said, what do you think about being a part of it? And I was, you know, kind of nervous, and I was like, well, okay. And he said, well, just be prepared to introduce yourself, say what you're drinking, say what you're smoking.
Okay.
And immediately I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to introduce myself as a co-owner of a cigar shop, and I'm going to have to tell them I'm drinking coffee and smoking what? A Tatiana chocolate? And I just thought,
okay,
that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so it pushed me to try something, you know, in my head I was saying try something real.
Okay.
You know, not that the flavored ones are not real.
Got you.
But I had to try something that, you know, the heavy duty cigar smokers would look at and respect the fact that, okay, that owner's got it going. She knows her cigars.
Got you.
So that's what pushed me into the naturals.
Okay. So, Liz, I got a little different question for you. Being here, coming to the Leaf Affair in Killeen, is predominantly males in there.
Yes.
Do you feel as though that the guys here have actually accepted you as, hey, that's not just Liz, but she's one of us. She's one of the cigar smokers. Or are you still thinking you're still trying to fight your way to get in the mix of that?
I feel like I'm accepted.
Okay.
I was the only woman here on the other day watching the Bama and Georgia game, and guess what? The guys are still in back room with me. Woo, yes! I'm like, yes. Good throw. Yes. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that they accept me as one of their own.
Okay, yeah, because I know usually the days here is Friday, Saturday, so I will admit I have seen you in here a lot, just in the background, just flowing with the rest of us.
Yeah.
So, last question for you: does being married to Jake add any more pressure because people know him and know that he smokes? Does it add a little bit pressure? Or is it like a competition thing or anything like that? Or how does that dynamic work?
My husband has always been the person that would, go out and do something, learn something, and then he would have to teach me. It was, okay, I'm driving a standard car, you need to learn to drive a stick too. Okay, so he taught me. I'm riding a motorcycle. I don't want you on the back all the time. You need to learn to drive your own motorcycle.
Gotcha.
So he taught me. You know what? I'm going to do this cigar thing. Jumping far ahead. I'm going to do this cigar thing. And he never, pushed it on me or anything. Like I said, I could have stood at the register and just rang people up while he was in Africa. But I thought, no, let me truly get into this.
Okay.
And like I said, he never pushed it. He just said, figure it out. All you have to do is, here, I'll give you a cheat sheet. You can recommend cigars off the cheat sheet, and just ring people up, and that they'll be fine. It'll be fine. Learn the humidor where the cigars are at. You'll be fine. He never said, hey, learn to smoke or whatever. He'll always offer a cigar. Hey, you want to try this? But.
Okay.
Really, that was it. But I took my own liking to it. Once
You got some credentials too, don't you?
I do.
Okay. Now I don't know, but let everybody know, what credentials do you have? I know you got something.
I am a certified tobacconist.
See? Yep, she got it.
That was again something I did while he was in Africa, because I was sitting here from 4 to 8 every day by myself, and I thought, what better time than now, since I'm here, and we weren't real terribly busy, and no one was there to talk to me or anything. So I thought, let me get that book out, and I started reading it and learning, and like I said, I started smoking the cigars, which helped, and that was that. So I took the test, I passed it. So I got my
First time go?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that's good money right there.
Yeah,
so Liz,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Being that you smoke cigars, and I'm not sure about the crowd that you hang with, the outside of here, does the other female that you hang around with, do they look at you? Do they constantly kind of pick your brain and ask you about, like, what is it like going into the cigar shop? Oh, it smells, it's in my hair, and all that stuff. Like, how do you deal with that type of stereotype? Because I know you hear it more than what I would.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that stereotype when it comes to trying to smoke cigars, or them trying to get into the game?
Perfect example is at work. They just found out that I smoke cigars. So
Oh, okay.
They looked at me like, Miss Bliss? I'm like, yes, I do. I enjoy the Leaf. It's amazing. I like being around the people. I like all of it. And I even asked some people to come with me this following weekend up here to try it out if they would like to, and I'll teach them how. So I think it's okay. Their first initial reaction is like, oh man, you're gonna sound the guy, you're gonna cough, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, but no. It's not
Yeah, and I got the same thing all along, because like I said, a lot of the things that my husband was teaching me are things that men did.
Okay.
And so it's like, you drive a what? I drive a motorcycle. And they're like, oh, do you have tattoos all over you? Do you have piercings in weird places? Like, and it's that conservative school teacher mentality, And I'm like, no tattoos, zero. No crazy piercings, just normal ear piercings, But and then when you find out, not only do you smoke cigars, but you own the business.
Yeah. I know that really throws them for a loop. Like, wait, like you actually own it and you smoke, like, which it is weird because there are some cigar shops where it may be a dynamic like you and your husband that own it, and they just are just the wife is just there at the register as we would say eye candy, and while the husband is doing all the work. And for you, Liz, you have a lot of females that come in to the cigar shop. No shame if you do this. I'm just making an observation that come to the cigar shop to just try to pick up a guy or
yeah,
and it's a lot of that though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that because I know a lot of females that just do the sweet ones, and it's like, okay, you've been here for like 3-4 hours, and you only took 2 puffs, but you really not for the culture.
Yes.
And you're following the trends, and then it's like you'd be surprised how more we would accept you if you actually just smoked and actually talked about it more than anything else.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, if you're a female and you're watching this, do not be afraid to try cigars. And I guarantee you, and I have both of them here to say if I'm telling a lie. Marcey's here majority all the time, but Friday, Saturdays, 9 times out of 10, Liz will be here and they will school you to the game, and I promise you. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say this. They probably smoke some more full body than I do. I'm gonna be honest. Because I sit back sometimes and I be looking and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna take the label off this. I'm just gonna put this over here. I'm not gonna say nothing. Because the industry as a whole is supposed to be a guide thing, but it's not. It's about relaxation, enjoying it in an environment where you can just relax, and you're not the person that who you are. Me being in the military, I come here to the Leaf Affair because people know me here as James or Mr. Cigar. They don't know me as Sarin, whatever. So it's a time for you to relax and just chill.
Yeah.
So if you actually embrace the culture, you'd be surprised who you would meet, and the things that you would actually get, and then the conversation and stuff. Because I've met a lot of people here, and it's crazy. And I have no shame in my game. I would ask either one of them about something, because there's only, like I said in previous shows, there's only a very few things in the cigar industry that's factual. What's in the cigar, and where it's from. Everything else, how you cut, light, smoke, it's all opinionated. So it's never anything wrong. Like right here, I have a butane and I have a soft frame. So to each his own on how you choose to do it.
Right.
So thank you, ladies, for being on the show. But like I always say, that's food for thought, but you ain't gotta eat it. Until next time, stay blessed.